gonna have to remind myself what my controls are. That's right. Right stick is center, left stick is trailer.
Turn left.
Oh, good, you're waiting for me. That's nice of you. I don't know if he was, but...
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
I need to turn down the engine volume again. I swear they keep tinkering with the sound settings.
Get ready to turn left.
So let's review where we're going. Should also make sure that we're actually heading along some of the roads that we've not travelled before, because I believe there's a few that we can discover still. But otherwise we're just going to peg it at like 65 and we're just going to vibe. .64 is close enough. That should be cruise control set. Yes. Good. And we should be able to get 1,700 miles, give or take. About 3 times the distance. I wonder if I still have realistic fuel consumption turned off. Not sure. And now we get the scenic view. We've seen this view a fair bit leaving Flagstaff because we keep getting put back here and we keep heading towards the northern states. But it's still pretty. I'm gonna have to slow down. Busy road for some reason. And resume cruise control. And turn it off again. Yay, single lane roads. Now we get to get around some of the slow traffic. Please, some of you turn right.
At the roundabout.
Can we just go straight through? I can't remember. Can we go straight through? Yes, we can. That works. Roundabout? What roundabout? We may be having to obey a speed limit, but we don't have to obey all the road rules. We really need to. There's ways to make just the traffic disappear for us as well, so we don't need to worry about crashing into things, if we're quick. But now we just enjoy the drive through the desert. Oh, we've still got our bison livery on. Can't remember. Whoop, wrong way. Let's not go too far off the road, eh? It's experimenting with the lights, because I can't remember what the... I think I've got my flashing lights on, but I just can't see them at the moment in this level of brightness. That's fine. Apparently we go up here and then we go left. I'm not sure about that one. Don't know about that one, Chief. Is there a better way to go? How far do we go before we have to sleep as well? No, still 7 hours. Sweet. That's like 20 minutes in real time. There's a viewpoint up here. Apparently I've visited, but I can't remember it, so we might just visit it again. So I do appreciate the scenery in this game. That's a very dry river. I probably should have just teleported to a city or garage closer, because I'm fairly sure I own a few of them. Because there's certainly no new roads to travel along this direction, because I've come this way so many times.
Go straight.
If they ever upgrade the area around Page, then we'll have something else to visit. Ah, it's the bridge up here. Bridge or dam? Might be a dam, actually. Sure, let's pull in and enjoy the sights. They finally have the thing that says press escape to skip cutscene disappear. So glad about that. I'll turn the volume down on this a bit. Did I skip that somehow? I didn't mean to. That's about right. Apparently I did. Oh well. We have seen it before. I enjoy that they've been backfilling the viewpoints, putting them into the older areas again. It's a really nice touch. Oh, I was going to check my map, come to think of it. And make sure that we are actually going the right way. Okay, so we can go that way, but it will be slower if we do. That makes some sense. Or we could have maybe gone up this way, but it wouldn't have really been useful. So, I mean, this would be a more interesting road. Well, it's not too late, so let's take this road instead because it's more interesting. We can go through Selena. Haven't actually discovered that place there. But then we're making our way through to Evanston. I remember Evanston. Yeah, if we'd gone that way, we could have gone up through here instead, actually. Maybe that's worth it. What does that add to the route? Ooh, quite a bit, it turns out. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to do the driving. So let's do some more driving.
Time to hit the road.
Nice big vista. Now in Utah. I turn the music down, and of course now I get a really quiet one. Enjoy some more scenery, shall we? Slowly overtake things. This is the downside of only being able to go a certain speed. To be fair, it's just taking me this long to accelerate anyway.
Keep right, and then continue straight.
Into Canab.
Go straight.
We might be able to get to the next viewpoint, and then I'll be taking a short break.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Cut through the gas station. Or completely misjudge the turn, you know, that works as well. This one didn't take any damage for some reason. I was meaning to cut through here. Just pretend I zoomed through there at 50 miles an hour and you're all terribly impressed. Been playing too many games with very immediate controls. You kind of learn how a truck, you'll have to relearn how the trucks handle in this comparatively. And not so bad when they're just by themselves, but with the trailer attached.
Go straight.
Understandably makes them a bit sluggish. As you would expect. Ah, I have to pull into the way station. That's fine, you know what? This is where we'll take our break.
Rerouting.
Also, we can technically just blast on through because I have fines disabled, and that's the only thing that really makes any difference if you blast through. We'll push on to the viewpoint. I think the viewpoint's a better place to stop. I wonder if the reason the previous one got cut short is more because I moved off the pad, because I turned the engine off but I didn't put the parking brake on, and I think I was rolling backwards. So we'll try and avoid that at this one. And cut across traffic to pull in here. Parking brake. Stop the engine. Activate viewpoint. And then we're going to mute and take a short break. Alrighty, now let's get going. Ah, of course, I'd forgotten that part of the problem with the viewpoints is time does still pass, of course. Now I'm tired. Now the advantage with this being an external contract is, yes, we can't speed, but we also don't need to worry about the passage of time when it comes to taking rests. So that should be good. So let's get moving. When I first came back, I thought that I just saw a big red thing above my GPS and thought, someone crashed into me. But no. Just need to sleep. So this is more apt music for this sort of thing anyway. This reminds me of Need for Speed days. And this is a much nicer road to be driving on than the freeway that we'd otherwise have been on. A little bit more interesting. There's a rest stop up here, it looks like. We'll head towards that. Past some farms or something, I guess? Can't remember what's to the right of us on a larger scale, but there's some roads that should connect through to the right. We filled out that area yet? Maybe we haven't. Future expansions, hopefully. Thought we had. So we're in Utah. Isn't there something to the right of us? I can't remember. Yeah, because isn't it Colorado to the right? They decided not to connect with it, seems. Okay, rest stop up here. Otherwise we're gonna black out, and that's not a good idea. Okay, I thought this was meant to be an entrance to the back of the truck stop, but there's not really any way through.
Finding new route.
What are you getting caught on? Ah, the pole. Ooh, okay. A bit more this way, now turn.
Okay, recomputing.
Okay, anywhere here we can just stop and rest. Early hours of the morning, okay. Don't like driving through night, but oh well. Once again, a update I would really love to see from them is the ability to, when you sleep, that it brings up a dialogue box, and the minimum amount of time you can sleep is what's regulated and required. But you could skip forward a bit more. Just if you want to sleep until like sunrise, then you could select that. You could go until 6:30. Because otherwise there's no time to just, or no way to just skip time, really. You either sleep big chunks. You can reset jobs, but I don't want to be doing that. I do like the massive amount of money that comes in when I sleep though. All my AI drivers just raking it in for me. So we're just going to have a bit of boring scenery for the time being, driving through the night. But it shouldn't be too long till morning, and then we'll get a nice sunrise hopefully. And there is another viewpoint up here that we could stop off at if we wanted to. to remind us what it is. Wouldn't see much at night time though, so I might not bother. You know what, I think I'll just drive past. That's the other thing, is that it's nice that they want to show your truck and stuff with the viewpoints, so they keep time running. They make it based on when you are, because they want the animations and everything of any pedestrians and stuff to show as well. But I kind of wish that it was more of a cutscene, or that it just sets the time, like, because you can, in the photo studio, it freezes time and you can choose what time of day you want it to be. It would be nice if the viewpoint just kind of set the time of day in a sort of instanced fashion, and then play the video, and then stopped it again, and then just reset the times back to what they were. Doesn't feel like that should be impossible. That way you could always see, but then I guess some people would be like, oh, but I want to see what it looks like at night. It's fair enough. But that's also the case where having the ability to rest until a certain time would also be nice. On the outside of the bend. Come through on the apex of this one. Bit of runoff here. We're actually tightening it in. And then around here. Just a little bit of truck racing. Uh-oh.
Get ready to turn right.
Uh-oh. Squeak. Almost got caught out.
Turn right.
Nope. That's where I want to turn right. Oops. Okay, so we get some boring roads for the next little bit, but that's alright. It is at least sunrise now. So this is where we enjoy the scenery a bit more. Especially on these roads, I don't need to be in the cab to get the feel for corners and stuff as much. It's just lazy turns through here. Watch for wildlife, dusk and dawn. Interesting. Wonder what sort of wildlife we get through here. Coyote, I guess.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Turn left.
I don't know why I cancelled the indicator
Keep
there.
right.
I was still turning left. That's right.
Keep right, and then continue straight.
Now there is a bit of road that I haven't discovered, but there's also
Go
the
straight.
truck manufacturer that I've not discovered. So let's clear up the question mark. We'll worry about the grey road another time. Western Star. Unless I have to go into it to discover it. There it is. We are not trying to get 100%. Not right now. Probably not ever. We did it in Europe Truck Simulator once,
Turn left.
and then installed a bunch of DLC.
Turn left.
I could have cut through the car park there probably.
Go straight. Keep right.
Nice town through here.
Finding new routes.
Oh, I was meant to go right. Oops.
Keep right. And then turn
Did mention that, but I didn't pay attention to my GPS. There we go. Realised before I went too far. Could have just gone around the block, essentially, but... Over the river. And slowly accelerate on cruise control.
Go straight. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Much easier to tell when I should start turning when I'm in the cab. And now we get some more boring roads, unfortunately. We'll try not to fall asleep. Scenery mode. The scenery is definitely the biggest reason that I enjoy playing this game. Some people like driving the simulator aspect and driving it all perfectly and stuff. I mean, I would if I could actually go the speed limit. I don't know why the limiter for the external contracts is set to 65 when it's perfectly legal to go higher than that in a lot of states. Seems they're just basing it on like California or something, I guess, just wherever the early areas are, but it'd be nice if it was adjusted based on where you were. I feel such things these days would probably be GPS based, so that I'd know how fast you should be going. Watch for wildlife and apparently low-hanging signs. Hungry? I am now. Just had to show me pictures of burgers.
Keep right. And then exit
Cool,
right.
so it's just a gentle right through here. Just leave it on that zoom level for now. Don't really need to see further out.
Exit right.
Onk. And heading into the hills.
Go straight. Keep
go
right.
this way. That's a big wind farm over there. Gotta remember I don't have, actually I probably still do have the dead zone configured actually. Or maybe not, because it's a different controller, so it might have reset. Controls are a little bit twitchier than I used to be used to. Used to, there's a sentence. You need an introduction to the English language there you go. There's the railway line. Should we just combine Train Simulator into this as well? Yeah, can we be lucky and not have traffic come onto us? Yes, for the time being. If we stay in this lane, we're good.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Apparently it thought I went
Keep
off
left,
my
and then
route.
turn left.
Interesting. Time to go left up here.
Turn left.
Switch back. Right corner. Sounded like my indicator was on, but I didn't see the blinking light. Or I'm blind. One of the two. Ah, of course we get hit with the train. Where is it coming from? There it is. Nice big passenger train. This would be a scenic rail route. That would be quite nice. Following the river, going through the canyon. Maybe that's something we should try and work in at some point. Be easier for mobility in terms of taking a train trip across places than like flying across the country or driving, doing road trips. I just reset my cruise control. Got my X and Y's mixed up. What is this, Pokemon? Shins. Another quarter of an hour left on this job, looks like. Only 55 through here. Oh well. Symmetry there? Interesting. Wonder if it's historic. Okay.
Turn right.
Yeah, I can turn right on a red. Don't mind me, other traffic. Let's do that rather than try and get back up to the same speed to reset my cruise control. Just set it and then increase or decrease the speed as I want. Nice historic marker there. I think we're very much retracing our steps the last time we had to come this way. Okay, we're almost at Vernal though.
Go straight.
We'll probably want to stop the gas at the station up here, I think. So we're getting low, though. Still got 891 miles apparently, so you know what? We should be good. Yeah, we really should have just teleported to the garage in Vernal. This has been good exercise to get back into the swing of things. I love it when I can coast. Please don't slow me down just because.
Keep right.
That's an interesting sculpture. Almost to Vernal. I hate how those side markers do so much damage when you just hit. It's got slightly distracted. Knock a couple of them and bam, you're almost at 20% damage. Fairly sure they're usually made so they can just bend. They're not like the massive poles they put in for snow markers or anything like that, they're just the little reflectors. I mean, I see a lot of them on the roads over here where they just get bent. There would be some superficial bumper damage at most, and I have a bull bar, so, you know.
Keep left, and then turn left.
I'm going to stop at the garage up
Turn
here.
left.
And we're going to take a short break again. I'm almost out of coffee. I forgot to grab myself another drink. When I took my break earlier, that was purely for family support as opposed to for myself. So this little bit of road has not been discovered. Now it has. Have I actually purchased this garage? I thought the icon was green when you purchased it. It doesn't look like I've been here before. Maybe they've redone the road. I guess that would make sense for the state. We got added. No, I haven't actually bought it. Well, I guess we're going to do that then. Yes. Cool, well that's a good place to pick up. Just park out on the road again so we don't have to do the awkward reversal.
Turn right.
There's some pipes there. This is a new stretch of road that we've not driven through. Would have been added in when they added in Wyoming as a state. Can't remember how I got into Wyoming. I think it was a different way, obviously. And it's an external contract job, so I can't go faster than 65, but that's fine. There's some twisty roads through here. It's more interesting than taking one of the freeways. It looks like there's a viewpoint further along as well that we'll be stopping at. And as you can tell, we're not going to be going the speed limit because that's boring. It is some pretty tight corners up here, so let's just take that carefully. And scenic mode. That's a nice Cadillac. Slow down for the steep hill because that truck up ahead is going to be going slow and we're not going to be able to see if there's something coming around the corner to overtake, so let's just take it easy. And around we go. Oh, nice bridge up here. Yeah, oops. That's what happens when you're not in the cab view. You completely miss how close you are to things. Sorry, Mr. Car. Lovely bridge. Nice view. Let's sneak our way past this dude. Even though we're going to be stopping the viewpoint up here anyway. Ah, another big dam. Nice. Okay. Taking a bit too much damage now. I'm getting engine malfunctions. That's unfortunate. Nice view. New viewpoint discovered. Now, is there a convenient way for me to get down there? It's going to be a bit of a slog with a trailer on getting down there and back up again, but you know, we'll manage.
Okay, let's find a new route. Recomputing. Please make a U-turn when possible.
And stop. Parking brake, engine off. Viewpoint. Flaming Gorge Dam. Very nice. 4 out of 10 viewpoints for Wyoming. I guess that's my next goal, is to go to all of them. Been to all of the cities, well, until they added Cody. But we've been to all the other cities originally when the game launched. I can't remember if they still do achievements for the visiting each city for the new DLCs, or whether it's just based on the viewpoints now. Might just be based on the viewpoints. I wonder what that crane is there for. Kind of bizarre. Is that just historical, maybe, for when it was being constructed? Very nice. Kind of like a miniature Hoover Dam. See, the skip cutscene thing keeps flashing up. I don't know if it's because I'm like moving something on my controller. My thumbs are off the thumbstick, so it shouldn't be. A nice flyover towards the truck. Very nice. Head back onto the 191 and find our way through the rest of the mountains.
Turn right.
Re-engage cruise control and hit traffic again, of course. Rock Springs, 72 miles. 2 hours 37 left on the job. Got 5 hours 27 before we need to rest again, so that's great. And we'll be speeding through here anyway, looks like. So that ETA is going to drop. We're going to be sneaky and try to overtake. It's one of those things that, if in doubt, escape menu, change graphic settings, despawn traffic. Anything that triggers a reload will despawn the traffic. I hate how the visit service thing shows up and you can't clear it, so I can't check like my fuel mileage or anything. But I'm fairly sure I had way more than I needed to be able to get to my destination. That's it, there is a gas station at the end of this canyon area, so it might just be easier just to pull in there. See how we feel. It is just freeway once we get to the other end anyway, so not hilly or anything. Shouldn't be too strenuous. Unfortunately, we hit one too many road markers earlier and clipped our way up to about 20% damage. Once it's over about 10% or so, that's when you start getting engine failures a lot of the time. Especially if most of the damage you've taken has been to the front of the truck. That does seem to make a difference. It would be nice if it gave you a breakdown. Like we've got damage there, we've got like 2% load damage, that's annoying. It would be nice if it gave you the breakdown of which bits were damaged, because sometimes it's just your tyres from a lot of driving, and you don't care so much about that. It's mostly only if it's your engine or transmission that you really care about. I notice I've only been stuck in 17th gear, I've not been going into 18, so that's a problem. It happens. If you're not really paying attention and kind of driving properly, then that's gonna happen. I'm too impatient for that. It's kind of ironic because playing a simulation game, a simulation style game, you usually expect to have a certain amount of patience and it appeals to a certain kind of person. I am naturally kind of an impatient person, so it's interesting that I still find this very pleasing, but it's just a testament to the game that you can play it how you like, that it is forgiving in that regard, that you can break the rules and speed,
Go straight.
do all that fun stuff. You might just pay the repair costs.
Keep left, and then turn left.
But that's the challenge, right?
Turn left.
Driving safely normally is a different style of challenge. We've had to do that before. Special deliveries, you have to do that. Make any infringements and you fail the job. Obviously when you're first starting out you have to be careful as well. American Truck Simulator is a bit more forgiving than Euro Truck Simulator 2, because this you have the insurance component, that if you take damage and repair it, your insurance takes care of most of it, and then your co-payment amount just steadily creeps up as you do more and more repairs. So you start to hit it, but it caps out at like 20% or something, I think, so no big deal. Whereas in ETS2, you don't have anything like that, really. Your repair costs are significant. Once you own your own truck, the default is always that if you just do quick jobs, then you never have to care about repairing your truck, really. Even if you have to call for emergency because you totaled the truck that you're dealing with, it's not a big deal. Like the cost is ridden by, you won't advance as much, you won't get as much experience or anything like that, especially if you damage the delivery, but there's not a huge penalty if you just do that, and that's a perfectly legitimate way of just playing the game as well, is never buying your own truck and just still existing just as a freelance contractor, and you just do quick job after quick job. That's how you have to start anyway. You can get to the point of having your first truck and trailer within like an hour and a half. There's a speed run for that. But you can play the game for dozens of hours, just racking up the funds. Sometimes it'll be a case of doing that just to discover more of the map and find truck dealers for the brand that you like. One of the advantages in doing the quick jobs is that if you get like a heavy delivery that you have to do, the truck will be provided powerful enough that you can do it. Like you can get one of the 600 horsepower trucks in order to be able to make the delivery happen. Whereas obviously to afford that, normally, A, it costs a lot, and B, you have to be a certain level to even have access to those engines. So it can be very worthwhile to just do your own thing. The best thing to do casually is not to buy your own truck early on, though you'll be tempted to do so you can explore. But exploration can be done by just taking quick jobs to new places. Best thing to do is to expand your garage and hire AI drivers and just buy them cheap trucks, because their truck performance doesn't really matter, and just expand your empire, so that way they are a passive income and every time you skip forward in time between jobs, you'll just find yourself just earning more and more. Eventually it just snowballs. I earn far more money than I can realistically spend, I think. I mean, I can buy more garages. I think I have a few of those that I haven't bought yet, but I'm running out of them as well, I think. Europe Truck Simulator, I've definitely got to the point that I couldn't spend all my money if I tried. I could total my truck every day, I think. And it doesn't actually take that long to get to that stage.
Get ready to turn left.
I mean, I have hundreds of hours in this game, but a lot of that was spent doing some speed runs and a lot of resetting. Also just a lot of time spent in the menu with the game paused, which still counts towards your Steam total, but not quite the same as actual gameplay. Be interesting to have a metric of time in cab. Where do you need it? Well, that's going to be tricky. Let's test ourselves. How onto it are we today? Alright, so let's see if we can back our way. So we've got to go all the way over to the corner, right? Let's drop this back to this so I can see what we're doing. And I have the fake mirrors up simply because it's easier than twisting my camera across all the time. Because you can just do this, but that gets a bit tiresome. You can also play in VR, which is fun. I should try that at some stage again, since I've got a dedicated space now to do that, but not... The problem with playing in VR is it does shut you off to the rest of the world a bit much. We're just getting slightly the wrong angle here. I keep turning the wrong way. There we go, okay. Let's get a more severe angle on this before we try straightening out. I forgot how long this trailer is. It's got the extra 3 wheels at the back. Now we're getting caught. Haven't given enough room. I think we're too far across. Yeah, we're too close to the fence now, that's fine. Just went too far. So I'm going to do this, and now we need a more severe angle again before we go back. I'm getting caught up on the fence again. We're just doing the same thing at this point. Oh, there's some, like, blocks and stuff there. That's what we were getting caught on. We were getting caught on those cones and stuff like that. And just grind along the fence. There we go. Okay, that was good enough. The game said, you know what? We'll give you that. Satisfactory. Yeah, took a little bit of damage on that one. That's fine.